Another way to use the cards is to start with what you know about your data story. In some cases, you might have been asked to give a presentation. So it could be, okay, well, give a presentation on, this piece of data, this facet of the business, and you have to do it by presentation. So you could start there. Now again, using the templates, you don't have to, but it's a nice way to structure it. So you make sure you're thinking about all aspects of the data story across the 5 categories of the ACTED framework. I'm going to start with the medium is a presentation. Now, if you don't know where to go from there, there's 2 ways you can go. Firstly, you could start looking at the rest of these subcategories and start thinking about, okay, well, what do I need to think about for preparing for delivery? Different types of engagement techniques, right? The different subcategories. That's one way for you to approach it. Another way is to look at the back of your card, the card that I'm giving a presentation, and it's going to recommend some areas that you might want to look at across the categories. So you could go back and start knowing your end and what your end is in sight, and go back to the audience and start and follow the ACTED framework. Remember, audience, context, tail, envision, delivery. The preference is to work your way through that structure, because really you need to know your audience first. That should be your first protocol. So we don't necessarily want to jump haphazardly. If you are starting with the end in mind, you can go to audience, right? From there, you know what you're trying to do. So we have some ideas. So it says maybe you might want to look at the executive persona, executive level. Usually when you're giving presentations, it's not always the case, but oftentimes you're going to be delivering a presentation to executives because they need it delivered in person via a presentation, right? So where you can really craft your data story well and deliver the message personally. Now you can see as well, it gives recommendations for other aspects of telling data stories relative to giving a presentation. We can see here under tail, you might want to look at having a climax and resolution as your structure. You also might want to look at storytelling techniques that you can use in a presentation, as well as the various storytelling elements that might be available to you. So this is another way for you to approach telling your data story if you have little nuggets of information that that are going to work for you, and how you want to structure it that way, where you start with what you know and work your way from, in this example, from the back. I know I'm delivering in a presentation, so I'm going to start there, potentially look at references for me, as well as then using the template as well to help me structure it.